everybody feeling? How what's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is hopefully Wednesday, possibly Thursday, cause yeah, work. One day I'll get paid for this and I can give you an actual cohesive schedule, okay? You know what? Why am I getting so hype already? We just ended the video, girl. Anyway, today we are doing season 3 of Insecure. Now I know I was supposed to do this a long time ago, cause if I'm not mistaken, I did the second season like 2 months ago. Again, work. Like your girl been working. And I finally got to finish season 3. I started the first half and then I finished the second half today actually. And out of all the seasons so far, this is the least climactic, which like I guess you need a break. You need to like kind of build a little bit of a story. But it's not boring because of course the characters are all great. The writing is great. So it's a captivating story. But like we're not having Issa cheat on her boyfriend or Molly having sex with a married man this year. Like this is we're a little bit more grown up. I mean there's still some drama, but we're a little bit more grown up. So with that being said, let's get into Insecure season 3. And just to let you know, of course I'm doing season 4. I will put that up on Saturday because as we all know, season 5 comes out on Sunday. So I'm gonna try to put it up in anticipation for season 5. And I don't know if I'm gonna do episode by episode since now I'm caught up, or if I'm gonna do it like I'm doing now and just like do it all at once. Y'all let me know what y'all want. A lot of y'all don't really watch this one, but if I get some new viewers, hi, hello, go back and watch my other 2 and let me know what you want me to do in regards to the series as we move forward with season 5. But let's get into it. Oh, and if you're new, maybe hit the subscribe button because you know I make a lot of content and stuff, so you'll be really like satisfied. I'm being consistent. This is the second day in a week I done put up a video. Hit that subscribe button, girl. Go ahead, hit it. Alright, let's get into it. So the first episode, like I said, pretty anticlimactic. Since it had been a while since I watched it, I rewatched it today, and I had totally forgot that she had moved in with Daniel at the end of season 2. It kind of caught me off guard when he was having sex with somebody and then she was there. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, okay. So he just having sex with people and right while she's there. And that has become a very constant theme of like, I don't know if I should live with a dude that I have dated, question mark? Have they dated or were they just messing around? Girl, I don't know if I can live with somebody that I had feelings for ever. Like I got exes from years ago that I would not live with them now either because it's just weird. It's weird, okay? But she's living with Daniel and she's kind of coming to terms with the fact that she's not happy where her life is. She's not happy because she doesn't really have much of a purpose and she's not living for her purpose. And that's a very long-lasting theme of this season that Issa feels like she needs to be doing something different. But right now she's living with Daniel. It's really awkward because he's doing the girl. And you know, she leaves, she's now doing Lyft, which I don't know if Lyft sponsored this season because they talk about Lyft a lot. So I mean, I use Lyft already, so I am not your target audience. I prefer Lyft over Uber anyway, but like, I don't know. It was in there a lot. They name dropped Lyft at least 25 times. Okay? But she now rides for Lyft, and you know, Molly is still having sex with the married man from last season, but she's starting to say she needs to put up her boundaries. So she tells him, look, we just smashing, that's it. You need to learn your place, boo. And that kind of causes a rift. And that becomes a very constant, ever-growing thing as well. Issa picks up a guy in her Lyft, which comes up eventually in more seasons. Spoiler, ends up being a love interest, but we gonna get there. There's a whole fight in the Lyft, and a lot was going on. So that's the first episode. Like I said, pretty anticlimactic, nothing too crazy. Gonna be in the second episode. We get in the second episode and we start again seeing Issa be like, oh, I gotta move out of Daniel's house. I'm living there rent free. He ain't getting none. I'm not doing nothing to make it worth his while of me being here. Maybe I should go. He has this girl that he is using to make it seem like she don't want her there, but she really don't care. And you can kind of tell that like he's conflicted. Like he doesn't know if he still has feelings for her. She doesn't know if she still has feelings for him. Blah, 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 blah. This is why you don't live with your ex, because irregardless of if you think it's over, and at this point they haven't even stopped talking for that long, so it's not really over. But irregardless if you do think it's over, it's still like some residual like I've had sex. I've seen you naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still kind of weird. It's still kind of weird. And then they go to, and then another recurring thing in the beginning of this season is Daniel trying to get his music career off the ground. They run into an old high school friend who was pretty big in the business and in the industry, and that ends up kind of being a thing because Daniel's a perfectionist. He seems like he wants his way or the highway in what he does, which reminds us of another person in this episode, in this season, which is Molly, who does kind of the same thing. Their storylines are pretty similar, actually. But I don't know, I'm not gonna do the parallels, but like, they both were very big on, this is my career, I'm being commanding of my career, this is what I want. So we get to episode 3, and again, Daniel and Issa are sleeping in the same bed because that's normal. Yeah, it's normal to sleep with your ex in the same bed and not have sex, and it's not weird. No. It's not weird to you, is it? No? Okay. But yes, they're sleeping in the same bed because she was talking about how the sofa was making her back hurt. And she imagines having sex with him, and it's like, girl, you still have feelings for this man. It's obvious he still has feelings for her, because she's like, look, I'm gonna move out, like, I'm trying to move out. And he was like, no, I like you here, I want you to stay here, like, I like your company. And they're starting to talk and feel and share emotions and stuff, and they think they're catching feelings for each other again, which, spoiler alert, no, because it's not gonna work. It's toxic. It started off toxic. You literally cheated on your boyfriend with this man. It can't go much further. Like, I don't know. But you know, this whole episode is essentially just Issa again getting this thought in her head that she has a purpose that she's not doing. She needs to do more. So she gets a job as a project manager at an apartment building to get a new apartment, because she was like, look, I don't want to stay with him. She had this moment where she did want to stay with him. It was but then Daniel, how do I explain this? The guy that they knew from high school, he screws him over. He realizes that, like, he is hard to work with, he's hard to deal with, and then he ends up being like, yo, you don't understand, you don't have a purpose, you don't have nothing you work for, you work this job, you don't really like your job. And though that kind of puts something in her head about, again, she has to have a purpose, it also makes her be like, yo, nigga, I don't want to live with you. Because this don't feel right. Like, this don't feel right. Obviously, we aren't meshing. Regardless of how much we're talking, it's not meshing with each other. And so she leaves, thankfully. Also, Molly starts her new job in this episode. And like I said, Molly, as an attorney myself, it is very well known that, like, of course you have to be assertive in what you do, because it's a job that takes a lot of assertiveness, right? But she is obviously burning bridges she don't need to burn. Like, you're in a black law firm in which, we can all come together, we can all unify, we can all work with each other. And yeah, sometimes it's difficult, especially in a career like law. But throughout this season, she seems to be on a mission to be like, my way or the highway. And baby, that don't always work. That don't always work. And she finds that out eventually. We'll get there. And then we get to the next episode where we meet Nathan, who was the guy from the lift. Now, at this point, Issa's at her job. She's like, over her job. She sees this other place that's doing things that she finds purpose in. She goes out and gets her lunch and runs into Nathan, and they start doing crazy stuff. Like, she jumps into a pool that's not hers. Like, I guess it was her childhood house, and then they get the cops called on them, and it's cute, but it's also like, you just met this man, and she calls off of work. She says, oh, I don't feel good, I have to leave. She's like, and it's cute in the beginning where you're doing like crazy stuff with a dude, but also you just met this man, and also the first time you met him, he got into a fight with somebody in the back of your car. Just saying, red flags. They're waving the red flags. Hi. But again, it's cute in the beginning when you're having fun to do truth or dare, and it's cute, but also the red flags are flagging. Okay. Next, like I said, Molly's at her new job, and she talks to her therapist, and her therapist is like, look, maybe you don't always have to be the assertive paced person. Maybe you can be a team player and play with other people. And that's kind of a reoccurring thing for Molly, that she's realizing that, like, yeah, it's good to be assertive, but also people ain't gonna like you. They ain't gonna like you if you're doing it all the time. And then at the end of this episode, Issa quits her job, which I want her to do since like season 1, because I hate her job. The fact that she's the only black person who works there, they never listen to her. They make her feel like she doesn't contribute anything, and they don't listen to and don't have a plan that is really helpful for the communities that they service. As a person who wants them to work in nonprofit, that bothered the out of me. Okay, so I already was like, thank God. Now, granted, she ain't got another job. She got the project manager job, but that don't really pay much. And then she also doing lifts, and it's like, girl, priorities. But also, yeah, I'd have quit too. I would have quit too, because they kept playing with her, and I would have quit too. Then we got season 5 is Coachella, and this episode is essentially they go to Coachella. Nathan's there, who's the guy that Issa's talking to. They get on Molly, which is a bad idea. Someone asked me how I know, but it's a bad idea. Especially in a place where you're not familiar and you have to do stuff. Like, they have plans they have to stay on, and drugs ain't really the best thing to do when you gotta do that. Like, so of course they all get on drugs. Issa and Nathan, they have sex in the Ferris wheel. It's cute or whatever. Molly is on Molly, so she is spilling her guts to this random dude she just met, and she's high and she's like uncomfortable. And there's always different kinds of high. Issa's like the touchy-feely, ooh, yes, vibing high. Molly is the I'm paranoid as hell, what is going on high. And then Kelly just fighting people. Yeah, Kelly just fighting people, which is normal. Honestly, I was not surprised. And then of course we know Tiffany is pregnant, so she apparently took a little bit of a weed brownie and she was freaking out as well. It was a very messy time, okay? But at this point, you realize that Issa and Nathan are coming together. They're getting closer. And Issa is starting to feel like, you know, everything's her fault. She blames everything on herself. She feels like she's the F up of the friend group. And that is also a very reoccurring thing throughout this season, because she brings that up as of like, I don't have a purpose. I don't have anything to live for. I'm an F up. And that is something that comes up again. And at the end of this episode, Lawrence is at Coachella and he runs into Issa, and cut to the next episode where we see Lawrence's little story. He's smashing everything that moves and ends up getting chlamydia. Cause that's how that goes. You gotta wrap it up, my guy. You gotta wrap it up. But of course he doesn't say that to Issa. He just says everything's going fine. Going great. Great. My life is fantastic. And Tiffany reveals to Issa, I think this is the episode before this, but that, you know, she feels like everyone's leaving her because she's pregnant. Like, she's the only one who has a baby at this point. And I don't have any friends that have kids. Well, any close friends who have kids. I have some friends that associates that have kids. But I feel like, yeah, I mean, if one of my close friends ended up having a kid, we wouldn't have that to relate to anymore. Like, I would not be able to help her. Well, I'd be able to help her with her kid, but I wouldn't be able to, like, be able to understand, because I'm still doing single people stuff with no kids. So I get it. She feels left out. They have a group chat without her. She feels left out from that. And I mean, honestly, throughout this, you can realize that it's like Tiffany and Kelly are the friends, and then Issa and Molly are the friends. And that comes up in the next episode, because the next episode is Tiffany's baby shower, and Kelly is very upset because it's like, that's her best friend and the baby's taking her away from her. And Tiffany had all these other random people playing her party, and they didn't ask her to play the party. And Tiffany's like, y'all didn't even ask to plan my baby shower, which, like, yeah, that's kind of messed up. Y'all have best friends. Why y'all ain't ask? Like, if my best friend had a baby, irregardless of how I feel about children, I would throw her the bangingest baby shower ever, okay? Because that's what your friends do, and that's what I said, she feels left out. She feels like they don't care about her. And at the baby shower, there's all these different people that they never met before. Before we get there, Issa is talking about doing this block party that she wants to do in Inglewood to kind of bring the community together, and it's a cute little idea that she really wants to do. She's really passionate about it. That's what she feels like her purpose is, and she gets into it. Nathan is supporting her, making her feel really good about that. They say, you know, how you know if this is real? He was like, I feel like I really like you. They connect and it's cute. And I was like, oh, that's too cute. It's gonna get messed up, ain't it? Yeah, it's gonna get messed up, because it always does. Love never lasts, people. I'm joking. Kinda. Anyway, again, like I said, Tiffany's baby shower. Of course, Lawrence is there because Lawrence is friends with Tiffany's husband, and him and Issa talk. It's very cute. He realizes that Issa's kind of changing. She quit her job. She's trying to find her purpose, and he's like, wow, I really like this side of her. And you can kind of see they're cool with each other. You can't tell if they're gonna get back together or if they just friends, but it's nice that they can be cordial with each other because honestly, it was hit or miss. Yeah. At the end of season 2, of course, they had that talk and it was cute, but again, you know, you never know. It's still feelings there. I mean, you never got the 5 years, and I feel like I've never been with anybody for that long. Could not imagine how much I would feel after that broke up. So, you know, I'm just guessing. Still some raw emotions there. Of course, Ro is there, who Molly cut off from the whole little situation. Come to find out, him and his wife are pregnant. So that was awkward. And Issa started to realize that Nathan is ignoring her by the end of this episode because he's not answering her messages, he's not answering her phone calls. And then the Lyft person calls her because, go back, I forgot to mention, the Lyft people called her and was like, hey, you got a message, like we gotta get a statement from you about the fight that happened in your car. Then the Lyft people called her at the end of this episode and was like, we talked to Nathan, he gave us a statement, you don't have to give us one anymore. She's like, okay, he calling y'all, but he ain't calling me. So then we get to the next episode, which is her just being obsessed over this nigga. And it's sad. It's sad because he goes MIA for like weeks on end. And I have never had somebody that I was like that connected to ghost me. Like I had somebody I was talking to like on our like dating talking stage, but nobody who was like,
I think I really like you, girl. Yeah.
Like he was really confessing his undying love and giving support and love to this girl every day. And then he just disappeared. I don't know. I think I've become a little bit obsessed too, because I'm a little crazy. Like Issa, I relate to her a lot. Okay, we're both awkward and we're both crazy. So she wakes up every morning. Is that Nathan? Oh, he calling me? Huh? Let me check on him. Let me check his Instagram. I'm gonna get on my stalker at Instagram and see what he's doing on Instagram. But like, oh my god, like this episode really made me realize why I don't want to date. I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be in that place. That sounds horrible. It does. But it's while I'm in therapy. We're working on it. But yeah, every single day she wakes up. Why is he not texting me? Why is he not calling me? Throughout this episode, it's kind of sad, especially when we get to the end. I'm gonna get there. And at this point, Molly is with Nathan's friend, who they met at Coachella. They're flirting. It's like at first she didn't want to talk to him. Now she's talking to him to go on a date. She gets butthurt because he brings up her marriage, having sex with a married man, because apparently she told him that when they were high. She gets real upset because obviously she's not over it. And again, Molly being erratic when she is upset. It's a very reoccurring theme. I can kind of somewhat relate to that as well. I relate to all of these characters just a little bit. And this all trickles down to Molly and Issa going to their house, Nathan and Andrew's house, because apparently they live together, to like do some makeshift I'm apologizing for me mad at you at the date thing. And Issa goes in Nathan's room, sneaks through all his stuff, and she realizes like, damn, I am obsessed. And Molly's like, girl, yeah, like you obviously are. And then at the end, she kind of comes to this like very sad and very sadly relatable moment where she's like, maybe it's my fault. I'm a F up. Like maybe he just doesn't want me because it's my fault. And I was just like, damn, that got a little real because I've been there. Yeah. Eventually, you know, since her and Lawrence are cool, she calls Lawrence for coffee. They talk. And you know, he's helping her out with her entrepreneurship because she's really dedicated to this block party that she wants to have. And that's the end of this episode. So then we get to the last episode, which is Issa's birthday. All throughout this time, I'm gonna start with Molly. All throughout this time, Molly is kind of screwing over the people she works with. Like I said, she had a partner. She screwed him over to get, you know, look good for the partners, like the big people in the law firm. And now that she screwed everybody over, she by herself. Nobody wants to work with her no more. Who's surprised? Not me. Again, especially in something like law, there is a, like I said, there's a balance where you have to be aggressive and assertive, but not too much, because it is still a team player sport. Like, we all gotta work together here. And she did not get that. She had this whole philosophy throughout the season that is my way or the highway, and ends up screwing her over. Again, it's Issa's birthday, so you know she's applying for jobs, and Molly takes her to a screening of The Last Dragon. But hold on, before that happens, Nathan shows up. He was gone for a month, and he just shows up on her birthday, because duh. And Molly tells him to leave, which there's gonna be an argument about this at the end of this episode, and I get both sides, but I would have done the same thing. I would have. Like, you had my friend literally obsessed to the point that she came to your house, sneaking in your computer, trying to figure out where you was, and then you just show the fuck up? No! No. So I get it. They go to The Last Dragon. Of course, Lawrence is there because they have to bring him in. And Molly sees Jared, if you remember from season 1, the guy she thought was gay, and she again thinks he's gay, come to find out he's not, because she just assumes everything. It's always negative. You know, there's this whole thing about ghosts, right? Like the ghosts of your past that you see, you know, like I say, so she saw Lawrence. It's at a cemetery too, which is fitting. Saw Lawrence, Kelly saw some dude she used to talk to. It's this whole thing about like the ghost of your past, and she tells Lawrence that she doesn't want to do the block party anymore because she kind of gave up, because everybody was telling her no and she didn't want to keep going, and that kind of made him not want to talk to her anymore because he thought she was changing. Like, and from this normal, I just gotta do what I gotta do type, to having a purpose and a plan, which to him was appealing. And you know, throughout this episode, he talks to his dad, he talks to one of his friends who cheated on his wife, and she took him back, and they were telling like, it takes work, you have to try for relationships. And it was kind of seemed like they were trying to get him to get back with Issa. But when she said she was giving up on this project, he was like, oh, well, maybe she don't want to do the work. You know what I mean? So then, you know, the whole thing for The Last Dragon screening was done by one of Tiffany's friends, who is apparently dating Lawrence now. And the girl is also helping Issa with her block party, because now she wants to do it again. She's inspired. That's what I'm looking for. She's re-inspired to do this block party again, and the girl's helping her with that. And she's also dating Lawrence. Issa does not know that she's dating Lawrence, and Lawrence does not know that they're working together. And I know that's gonna come up next season. I already know this whole storyline because it got spoiled for me already, that they end up, I think she's having his baby or something. You don't know, spoiler. She's having Lawrence's baby by this season, I think. So I gotta watch it. I already know what's gonna happen, but I'm just curious as to how it happens. And then at the end, we have Nathan, who comes and is like, look, sometimes I get kind of flaky. Like, he was essentially saying, in my opinion, I think he either has like bipolar disorder or depression, because he was like, sometimes I get really sad and I don't really know want to talk to people. And he also obviously is irrational because he's beating up people and doing drugs. Like, so, but yeah, he was like, look, I went to Houston, I wasn't feeling like talking. And my thing is like, yeah, you can have a mental health issue, you can have these depression moments, but at least tell her like, look, I need a moment. After you just was like, I know this is real, I love you, girl. Like, what? You can't do that and then ghost. Like, that's fucked up. And she's like, look, I need some time to figure out what I want. She decorates her apartment, which I was like, when the hell did she get furniture? Because this whole time, she ain't had no furniture in her house. I was like, when did that happen? But okay. She got furniture in her house. She cleans up. She gets some champagne. And that is the end of this season. Okay? Like I said, not as adventurous as the past 2 seasons. And again, like I know this season, the 4th season, is going to be very interesting. So I can't wait to do that one. Like I said, I'll be having that one up on Saturday. Probably night. Likely Saturday night. This is a busy week, actually. I'm happy that I was able to get this up. So yeah, with that being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Comments, questions, concerns, and suggestions in the comment section below. Since we about to be done with Insecure, you got any other TV shows you want me to do, I'll do them. I have HBO Max, Disney Plus, and Hulu. So, you know, anything on there. And of course, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. And I will see y'all on Friday, because I have a girlfriend to take your black card coming for you. See, look, I'm consistent, baby. I'm back.